What's your thought on Tony's address the other day?
Well, I thought it was poignant, and it just was so genuine, and he has felt this way, uh, the way that he expressed better than I ever could, and our entire Dallas Cowboy team, organization, everybody uh, uh, is benefiting from the way he's approaching this.
Steven told Sports Illustrated on Wednesday that he had asked for a chance to compete for his job back last week. What was that conversation like with him?
That who had asked?
That Romo had
Yeah,
asked.
no, I don't want to comment on any of those comments one way or the other, but just exactly what he said is what I have seen in my understanding of his attitude about being the quarterback of the future.
Why is Dak the right guy right now?
Well, it's obvious. He's just doing such a great job with an unbelievable job of contributing to an event here that has gotten everybody playing and exceeding their I'm not even going to say pay level, but everybody exceeding their expectation.
Is it not just his on-the-field play, but also his leadership that helped get those guys?
Well, he's from the day I ever heard his name, I always heard right behind it, he's got the it factor. Look at how he tried to direct his studies in college toward leadership, and he's a natural leader.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Tony could operate this offense at a similar level if called upon?
Well, I don't need to go there, but there's no doubt in my mind that Tony can play at a level that wins ball games with this team.
He's clearly affected. He's clearly emotional about what's gone on, Tony. Does he have the ability to turn it on if he is called upon?
Well, he's turning it on. What you saw the other day, in my mind, was him turning it on. He's invested completely in being a part of a winning team. He made that real clear, and he wants to do any and everything he can do. And the old adage, if we ask him to be the water boy, he wants to drown him with the water.
The contract doesn't matter. You know what he's getting paid to be a backup quarterback.
Again, those are things. We have a game in the NFL that has evolved and is designed so that one of its frailties almost is how much success depends on quarterback play. And compared to when we had lost Tony in the training camp and then turn around and lose Kellen Moore, compared to that spot, to be sitting here with as accomplished as Dak Prescott has been and a healthy Tony Romo in a world that depends on to really win excellent quarterback play is I just have to pinch myself that we're in that shape with Dak Prescott playing at his level and Tony Romo healthy and ready to go. And he's preparing himself, he's competing, he's getting the snaps, he's getting the situation, team's getting used to him, and he's getting ready to play.
What about after this season, though? Is it tenable to have a backup quarterback making that kind of money next season?
We don't have to, but let me say this. It is very tenable to a long-term look at this situation. Very tenable for me on a long-term basis, and I don't want to go any farther than that, but it's very tenable for me to see on a long-term basis us being strong at quarterback, and that's where we are. That's where we are with these two.
Has Dak earned the right to have a bad half, a bad game, bad couple of games? Has he been that good where he doesn't need to look over his shoulder?
Yes.
What kind of job do you think Jason Garrett's done just managing everything this season?
Well, I think he's brought to bear everything he's about as a former player, former backup quarterback, if you will. he's got a doctor's degree in looking at it from the perspective of a backup quarterback, so we're pretty fortunate there. Then I think he has certainly from the time he got here as a young head coach with not much experience, he's involved into a coach that's handling this situation in a great way. And I said after the game the other day that I just have to call out and point out the job that Jason Garrett's doing. It's certainly really a factor in anything that I do to evaluate where we are or where we're going.
I believe you were talking about Orlando when I walked up. What will be his status with you guys come Monday?
Well, we had talked about that, but his status will remain how it is today.
Jerry,
So he won't be around you guys?
He will remain like he is today. And I don't have a lot more to say about this.
how long you've been a part of the organization, what does it mean to you that if you win on Sunday, it would be the longest regular season win streak ever against these young guys?
Well, one thing I have learned, and you guys remind me of it a lot, is that I haven't been a part of winning streaks this long. A lot. And so my experience has been that when a team is playing at this level, it's rare. It's really rewarding and impressive, but until you're adding it up after the season is over, then it's hard to go to euphoria over where we are. Leroy Jordan was standing out here, and he came to talk to Jason Witten today, and we were talking about the winning and how our team's playing. And he was just going to congratulate Jason on breaking his record. And I said, what is so impressive is how amazing it is that two Cowboys have the longest consecutive streak, Jason to break it, and they're space contact players, tight ends, safeties, linebackers, if you will, fullbacks. Those guys hit from space. Well, that's a lot further than hitting 1 and 2 yards away. And so it is amazing that those two represent the longest consecutive playing. So I have a lot of admiration for Leroy Jordan. Probably you can't get any more admirable of what he did and how he inspired our team. So that's the kind of thing that I think of when I look at these extended records of either active or, in our particular case, possibly breaking the record.
Jerry, you've had some good football teams here, the 14 team, the 09 team, the 07 team. Of the recent group that's had a chance to be successful, where does this one rank?
Well, I don't want to. This is not over.
In terms of potential to be
successful. I don't even want to say that. It evolves. We obviously know that we're going to have challenges, decisions to make. I know that we're going to have some hard days ahead. Barry Switzer used to say it's like the old wagon master. Talking to the group on the wagon train right before they left east, coming to the west to go to California. He said, some of you are going to die. We're going to have some new people born. We're going to use these wagons for firewood and to float the Mississippi River, but the train is going to get there. I want to be on it. I hope you are. And that was Barry's great comment sometime to the team. Well, this train, I hope we can get it there. We'll probably have some things to add and take away before we do.
Is the fact that Tony's getting some first-team snaps with the offense here in practice, they signed a concession at all that he wouldn't be able to compete for his job?
No, not at all. Parcells used to let the backup quarterback have snaps in all of the periods as well. No, not at all. It's just a way to be ready. I really don't want to sit here and think that we've got two quarterbacks ready to play and one of them not be ready because he didn't take some snaps out here.
Sanchez didn't take any but a series on every Friday, so you have changed it.
There's a lot of difference in Tony Romo and Mark Sanchez now, guys. Let's be candid.
Can you afford to do
I
that
mean,
though with a
it's
rookie
also-
quarterback?
What?
Can you afford to do that with a rookie quarterback who needs the snaps to be ready for Sunday?
Well, I think in this particular case, you can't afford not to have Tony ready.
And it's more important because Tony hasn't played and hasn't practiced, hasn't played a game over a year. Right?
Well, our team is getting to see Tony step up there, snap count, see him change, identify the defenses, do all those kinds of things. They need to hear that. They don't need to have heard it the first time when they get in the ball game.
As much respect as you have for Tony, and as close as you guys are, is that one of the kind of toughest conversations you've had to have in your tenure, just laying out kind of what the plan is going forward? With
No.
him?
No, not at all. Tony's not going to let that happen. And just like what he demonstrated yesterday, that's the way he's been. And certainly he has the team first, but I do want him ready to play. And
Is that part of you? The question, the tenor of the question is almost like this is a goodbye. You don't want it to be like a goodbye.
it's not goodbye. I think Tony's got 5 years left
Feel-
of really competing for a Super Bowl. Okay? I believe Tony will be the quarterback on a Super Bowl team.
This one?
I believe that strongly. And so that's, we're talking generic now.
Right.
And I have no plans for him not to be part of the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, Jerry.
Not a consideration.
Jerry, you're going
Okay.
to learn soon whether you're in the Hall of Fame. You allowed yourself to think about that?
No, no, I haven't actually. There's something else out there happening that kind of puts that in its right place, but no.